Let's start. Can I? Don't mess up my furniture.
No, I think it could be.
So Ron's not there.
Okay, you can have like.
Okay.
So don't wait on her. Baby's not here.
I'll take that.
Okay, she had the baby.
Baby. New grandbaby.
You all, I have 12 o'clock, and there are a couple people that need to leave by 1 o'clock. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a quorum, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keith is on his way, Rosalind's on her way. Katie's not coming, she had a baby, grandbaby. So she's doing first things first. Little boy, she has a new, and that's Keith. She has a new grandbaby boy. So, there's Keith. Thank you for coming, Keith. So I call the meeting officially to order. Pursuant to provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, please take notice that the decisions of the Nashville Public Library may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for a review under common law writ of certiorari. Keith, I can do that now. Say that word. I can say that word.
Yeah. I think it's a cool word.
Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. And as far as public comments are concerned, pursuant to TCA 8-44-12, time is reserved at the beginning of the library board meetings for which there is an actionable item on the agenda for public comment germane to items on the agenda. Up to 5 people will be allowed to speak 3 minutes each. Speakers must register within 1/2 hour prior to the beginning of the meeting by signing their name on a physical sign-up sheet available at the entrance and identifying any agenda item on which they intend to comment. Do we have no commenters today? Okay.
Nope.
Well, you want to go ahead and introduce our we have new council, everybody.
Yes. So I'm happy to introduce you to Macy and to Tessa. Is it Tessa, right? Okay. I knew it was, I didn't know if it was Tessa. I wrote down Tessa. So they are our new legal team, and Macy will be with us like in all of our legal guidance as Derek was. And so this is her first meeting, and Tessa's here to help her, so welcome. Would you like to say a few things?
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you went to school, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. So I'm a Nashville native, grew up in the Hermitage, Old Hickory part of town. I still live there now. Went to the University of Tennessee for undergraduate, went to Belmont for law school, and I have been at Metro Legal since 2015.
Wow, congratulations. Hope you get those alumni checks in, okay. Go ahead.
Then the other person I'd like to introduce is Miriam Rose. She is our new administrative specialist. So if you remember Bernie doing that job for 30 or however many years, it was a long time. Miriam is in that position now, so she'll be communicating with you all for board-related items.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm new to Nashville. I grew up in New Jersey, and then I was in California for about 5 years, and then different circumstances brought me to Nashville. And but I have experience in a lot of different careers, and I think at midpoint, I just really was looking for a rewarding job, rewarding thing, and this is very rewarding to be here. So I'm very honored to be here.
Well, you welcome home. You found your home, okay? We're so glad to have you. So glad to have you. And no anticipate. Go ahead.
Sorry, Tessa.
Tessa Ortiz-Marsh. I am also a Nashville native. I went to University of Texas San Antonio for undergrad. I'm in the military, so I've traveled all over
Oh, wow.
the United States, University of Dayton, for law school, and I have just recently hit 1 year at Metro Legal.
Oh, good.
I spent some time in the State Attorney General's office, so this is definitely my favorite place I've worked.
Oh, awesome. Well, we are definitely glad to have all of you here. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. So I only have a couple things as far as board comments are concerned. Thursday, the 23rd, but you will be downtown Metro Courthouse, 4:15. Wear red. If you can wear red, wear red. Uh-huh.
It's 4:15.
If we could meet by 4.
4, okay.
Is what we're planning, to meet at 4, but then we're not scheduled.
We're not scheduled till 4:15, so you never know if it's going to be earlier or if it's going to be later. Mostly it's later, but, so,
This is before council.
yes, this is
Full
our
council.
budget hearing with Metro Council.
Kind of get your council person's attention, let that person know you're there, wear your red if you can. And this is the first year I will not be there, so I'll be out of the city, out of the country, so y'all do your thing, do your thing. And then the second thing is we sent you the format, the Terry's evaluation form. If you would complete that form by June the 1st, it will be anonymous. Terry will not know what you said. What I usually do is I just compile all of the comments for each question, because it's very important that she has your feedback and she knows what areas of which she needs to grow. So be honest with that, because I just had my evaluation, so I can say this. It is a time when you just want to do better, and we always want to know how to do that, and so we can keep growing together. So don't hold back anything. We just want to know how we keep growing, okay? So I will take, if you all have read the minutes, any questions, corrections, additions? Kate moves for approval. Travis is second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposers? Minutes are approved. Terry?
Sure, so we're going to change the agenda up just a little bit because Susan is going to give us a facilities update and also a courtyard update. And so we want to go ahead, since I know there's a lot of interest in both. So we want to do that before some members of the board need to leave and also.
Yeah, and she's doing the most important thing she does today too, because she has to go to her child's award program.
Yes,
That's
doing
what we do.
children.
That would be my children. Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? And
Yes.
do I need to stand up or I'm okay? I can
Uh-huh.
wear my spectacles and do this? Okay. So we'll do the facilities update first. From this spreadsheet, it's posted up on the board. In the middle column, that is the approved.
Can it enlarge it? Can you?
Just hold the shift key.
Yeah, that's better. There we go. Thank you.
There you go. Can y'all see that now?
Yes,
Okay. So the middle column, it's the approved funding that we have gotten in either capital funding or 4% funding. And 4% and capital both do major maintenance for metro departments. So as you can see, since fiscal year '22, Metro has been very good to us. We've received over $30 million in maintenance funds, and they are being used wisely and used well. In the left-hand, or column B, you can see we have already identified almost $30 million worth of needs. Some of these are in process. Some of these are being scheduled. Some of these we're still getting the scope of work done. So I will break these down into, as you can see, I broke it down into main and then the branches. And the reason I do that is we have over 528,000 square feet of space that we take care of. 300,000 of that is the main library itself. So that's why I always break it up, because there's just so many needs in this one particular building, and then we have everything else. Not that everything else is not just as important, but that's why I do it. So for the main library, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this.
We can't see that, no.
Can y'all see that?
No, just tell somebody.
Okay.
We can't see that.
So let's just start it at the top, at administrative area. This building has had several renovations in several areas. The administrative area is the last to be done. We've been in this building 24 years, 23-plus years. We never touched over on the other side here. The carpet was starting to delaminate. It was starting to be a health issue or a safety issue. So we decided to go ahead and take the carpet up, replace it. We've put LVP down. If anybody's been in the administrative areas, it looks great. It's going to be more durable, easier to clean. And while we were at it, we went on ahead and painted, because we haven't painted in 24 years. So that is almost complete. They've got a few stragglers out there, but it'll be complete shortly. Civil Rights Room, we're doing some renovations in there. We're going to be painting, we're going to be doing flooring. I believe tonight they start the painting in the conference room of the Civil Rights Center, so we will be, everything else is being scheduled. Upgrading the lighting control system. For the main library, we have a lot of stuff in process. This is the only one that has the C by it, because it's the only one that's complete, so I can mark that one off the list. So we decided to upgrade the lighting system. It was also 24 years old. We couldn't find parts for it any longer, so it had to be upgraded. That has been complete. Now we can schedule the lights to go off. Before, they were just on 24/7 because we didn't have a choice. Main courtyard, we have set aside up to $5 million to complete what we have to do out there, and I'll go over that in a little bit. That is in process. We've started it. Some of this stuff is not the stuff that patrons or customers get to see. It's all behind the scenes, but it's stuff that's desperately needed. So it's not the stuff that people will see and go, oh, this looks great. But the elevators will be great, the lighting will be great, that kind of thing. So we have a fire alarm system that has to be updated, fire pump controller, that's in process. To grind and polish the marble flooring, that cost $100,000. We have never done it. It's desperately needed. We're going to have to come up with a scope of work for that. Johnson Controls, JCI Metasys upgrades, that's our system for monitoring all the HVAC systems around the system. This $572,000 is for the main library by itself. We have 230 VAV boxes in this building. They all are basically little mini computers that tell when the air is supposed to come on and go off. It all has to be upgraded. They're all at end of life, and they're all starting to fail. Main boiler, feed system up in the penthouse, that is in the process of being replaced. Main air handlers, units 1 and 2, both of those units by themselves are bigger than this room. So it's a complicated process to do. We have cleaned them enough. There's caustic agents that you have to use to clean them. They've been cleaned so much. The copper is thin and it's starting to leak, so we have no choice but to replace them. Main library cab elevator upgrades. We are upgrading all of the elevators in this building. As you can see, that's a hefty price tag. It's over $700,000. They are in process. We've done one so far. They're doing the first of the public ones right now. It's usually about 5 to 6 weeks for each elevator to upgrade them. They will basically be new elevators on the inside. I mean, the mechanics of it, not necessarily, we're not doing the inside of the cabs, but the innards will be upgraded. $1 million for the main roof. It's also 24 years old. As a matter of fact, the vendor was up there today looking at the roof, giving us a cost estimate for redoing it. This is a small one, but new bottle filler water fountains. We cannot find parts for our water fountains anymore. Most everybody's going to the bottle filler, so we're trying to get those in place, but they are not cheap. So we have the one on the first floor done. Yay. I've put out here, I don't know if this is an accurate estimate or not, but if anybody's looked at the outside of the building, we have the ornamental iron that's all around this building on the windows, the doors. They need to be painted. It's starting to rust. It's starting to be an issue. I put $500,000 out there as a placeholder. That's probably going to be a very complicated project, so we'll see how it turns out. First floor, popular materials, we have money to renovate Pop Mat. That's the only other area that's never been renovated. First part of that is going to be the lobby. If anybody has been here in the wintertime or in the summertime, it is very hard to keep the lobby temperate. It's usually 40 to 45 degrees in the wintertime because you have air coming in from the front, you have air coming in from the garage, and it makes a big wind tunnel. And in the summer, it's the same, hot air coming in. So what we are proposing is working with an architect to get the lobby basically closed off more so that it can be more temperate when staff and patrons are inside. How much is that? That's part of the $3 million that we've set aside for it. The last time we did a budget, and that was probably 5 years ago, it was about $250,000. So, pressure washing and sealing the outside walls. We have pressure washed with our internal staff, but we've not been able to seal it. We did that back in 2019 before Library Journal was here, or ALA was here. It has not been done since. Last time we got an estimate to do it, it was about $180,000. So we've set aside money for that. Replace flooring in the nonfiction area. Again, the carpet was starting to delaminate. It was pretty stained to where we couldn't clean it any longer. So we decided to change that out for the LVP so it'll look like the public computer side with the LVP. On that side, it's almost complete. Replace the flooring in popular materials. That too is starting to delaminate, starting to be an issue. The wood floor, we can no longer sand. We have sanded it down to where we're going to have to replace it now. And the carpet's just in bad shape, so we're going to do the whole thing. That is scheduled, not done yet. Replace the seam condensate unit. That's $28,000. Like, nothing is cheap in this building. Reworking the ornamental iron cages on the windows. So one of the problems that we're having is we can't get anybody to clean the windows in this building. You've got all of these skyscrapers that are around us. They have thousands of windows that are easy to get to. Ours have ornamental iron on every window, and they just, it's too hard to do. They don't have to do it. They don't. So I have our facilities maintenance manager looking at possibly cutting the iron, putting in a hinge so that it can open, so that we can then clean it, and it'll also be easier to paint when the time comes. And again, that's just a big guesstimate, have no idea what it's going to cost. And replacing the I talked about that earlier, replacing all the VAV boxes. They're all at end of life. They are clogged, they are failing, so we're having to replace all those as well. It's a variable, it has to do with the HVAC system. And then I have put in reserve almost $900,000 just for HVAC repairs because we just never know what's going to come at us. So that makes up our $14 million in needs, $14.5 million in needs for the main library. Sure. I usually do that, but I presented it today, so. Out in the branches, oops. We have done a lot out in the branches. There's lots of C's out there because we've done a lot of stuff. We'll just start, I did these in alphabetical order, so we'll start with Bordeaux. We are repairing the front entrance. We're having a problem with the doors opening and closing correctly. That's in process. We just replaced 9 of their air handling units. They finished up, I think, last week. We have already put the bullet-resistant window tint on the inside windows where there's only one way in and one way out to help with safety. We've put the Armor Core on the wooden doors. We added an emergency exit. I and Mark Crowder, our safety manager, walked Bordeaux. We started with Bordeaux after the shooting incident with the police safety, and they recommended that we put in another emergency entrance on the adult side so that if somebody were coming in the front, there would be an easier way to get out. So we did add that entrance. It is completed and done. Just an interior refresh, painting the walls, replacing furniture if needed. That money is set aside. System-wide, again, we are trying to replace the water fountains with the bottle fillers out in the branches as well. Excuse me. Again, we're getting to the point where some of the water fountains that are out there, you can't find parts for, so we're just replacing them. Again, Armor Core in some of our branches that, again, they have the glass interiors, but they only have one way in and one way out of certain rooms. We're going to be putting the bullet-resistant coverings on and putting the Armor Core in. Donaldson, and this is the old Donaldson, not the new Donaldson. Eventually, we're going to be replacing all the light fixtures. We are having a hard time getting the T12 fluorescent bulbs, so we're trying to change everything out to LED when we can. We just replaced, because New Donaldson was not going to be open, we had to replace all of their air handling units. So that's what that $167,000 was. But we're intending on keeping the building one way or another, so it needed to be done. And eventually, when they move to the new building, whatever we decide is going in there, whether it's part of NECAD or something else, we need to renovate it. So I've set aside money for us to do that. East, frankly, all the windows need to be replaced, but this is in a historic district, in a historic overlay. We have serious leaks in the building that's coming down the wall, but the Historic Commission is only allowing us to replace 6 of the windows. So we're going to have to try to restore the other windows. We'll see how that does. Thank you. Elevator upgrades, East and Pruitt will be further down, but they are also getting their cabs rebuilt. And that is actually in process. All the mechanics are ordered. It'll start sometime in the fall. And here again are the interior repairs for the leaking windows and the walls. We're going to have to repair all that stuff. Excuse me. Edge Hill, as you remember, we had a sewer line that collapsed and had to be repaired. We did an interior refresh on that building. We've also, Edmondson Pike, we've replaced the roof. That is complete. Sidewalks, to make them ADA compliant or more ADA compliant, we didn't have to, but coming off the hill, there was no place for somebody that may be in a wheelchair that's coming from across the street to our sidewalk to get to our ADA ramp. And so we had 2 choices to go. We could either make a ramp and throw them into the parking lot, or we could back the parking lot up and make a sidewalk all the way around. I chose the latter. And that is complete, so now it's more easily accessible. There's also money set aside for an interior refresh, if needed. And actually, we did some of that already. Goodlettsville, we're having a problem with water infiltration around the doors to the children's area that are coming in from the outside. We've done some investigative steps and done some water intrusion testing, so we think we've got a solution for it. Those are in process, and the floors are needing to be replaced. The concrete underneath is cracking, and it has a marmoleum, so the marmoleum is cracking, so we're going to be replacing that flooring. Fire meter installation, Madison Suburban Utility District informed us that we had to get in a new fire meter line. We had to do that for Goodlettsville and for Madison. Those repairs are complete. They were not cheap, but they are done. interior refresh for Goodlettsville. It's about time that they get their walls painted and their floors redone, so. Green Hills, we had to replace the chiller. We were hoping for it to be a part of the renovation. We never got renovation money. So the chiller, we had it Band-Aided and stuck together as much as possible. It finally died, so we had to go ahead and order the chiller and have it replaced, so that's completed. We have to replace the roof at Green Hills, and we eventually, this year, have now gotten the money to do a full renovation, so that's what that $4.3 million is. Outside in the Sally Beeman Park, if you're looking at the building, it's to the right. The small park that's outside of Green Hills had metal benches with wooden slats, and they're all starting to deteriorate. So we are replacing all those benches with metal benches. But again, they are not cheap. And I think there's either 10 or 12 of them that are being replaced. Hermitage, we finally got the money to renovate Hermitage, so that's what that $4.3 million is. Yay. However, we've had to do some wall repairs out there. There's blasting because there's a quarry, and that has cracked the walls, so we've had to replace them, or not replace them, but repair them several times. But this was the last repair. We have patched and paved the parking lots. We've replaced the gutters. Carpet replacement, again, we were trying to wait until the renovation. However, carpet was delaminating. It was being a safety issue, so we replaced some of the carpet. Inglewood, they had carpenter bees. We had to fix the carpenter bees, and then we've trimmed and we've painted. That's been done. I think this is just, not sure what that, when it says building. Madison, fire meter, that's where we had to replace that. We also replaced their roof. We are in the process of replacing their front doors. We've had several people who have gotten caught in the doors. They're not operating properly, so we are actually replacing the front doors so that they operate. North, we actually extended their parking lot. They only had 3 parking spaces. They now have 5. That's been completed. Pruitt is about to get a roof replacement, but we're having to fix the parapet. We're having to fix several things with the brick that holds the roof on, so that's why it's $758,000. But that one's also in process. They are also getting an elevator upgrade. Old Hickory had columns that support the roof. They were rotting. Those have been replaced. Interior refresh for them to get painted. They have not been touched since about 2012. Also, we spent $8,300 and got security cameras added to Old Hickory. It was the only branch that did not have any security cameras. So we added 8, and it now covers both floors. Richland Park, we've got money set aside for lot repairs. That's a tricky situation because it's actually parks, but they said if you want to go ahead and pave your spots, go ahead. So that's what that is. Carpet replacement, we have planning money for the new Richland Park, so we don't want to put a whole lot of money in it. But again, when we have safety issues and we don't have a choice, but we're going to have to replace the carpet in the children's area because it's starting to delaminate. And then Thompson Lane, we replaced all their sidewalks and made them ADA compliant. So that is the $15 million for the branches. Any questions?
I have several.
Okay.
So let's talk about Southeast Park. What's the one up in Clarksville?
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. We don't have any issues with those particular locations?
I addressed Bordeaux earlier. Southeast is a general services building, so we do not maintain that.
Okay, that's great. Now, and the other question is, the library in Donaldson. So I know that they are getting a new library. What's the timeline on that?
It opens June 24th.
June 24th. So we're spending money on the existing building. So what are the plans? What are we going to do with that existing building? Do we have any plans to resell?
No, it will stay with the library. It's been proposed as a possible site for NECAT, but if Metro chooses to go a different direction, we will utilize it in some form or fashion. We have not totally decided yet.
Okay. Okay, I'll put the rest of my questions on layaway.
Questions? Thank you, Travis. Any other questions? I'm so, Rosa,
Sure.
Rosa,
Hey, Keith, you mentioned you perhaps will use it for DCAP.
NECAT.
NECAT.
Nashville.
Tell me what that is.
Education, cable, television. He just took her mic.
A little over, we're actually going to present a video at the end of the agenda if we get to it that will showcase some of the work NECAT does. But it's Nashville's education community arts television. It's the public access TV station, the 3 channels that air on Comcast 9, 10, and 19. Our studio manager is here, Cameron McCaslin, and the studio is on Nashville State Community College campus, but it's where anyone can come and learn how to make film and television. We have experts in the equipment, so it's a really great program, and happy to show you more about it, hopefully by the end of this agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Keith, you had a question?
So go back to the slide, so the summary slide, that one. So we've got all that we need to do, all the stuff that you just went through, except whatever that is over on the right side. I can't see it now.
No, that's actually money that is not, that's extra money right now. But that won't last long.
And the mayor.
So we've got enough money to do everything you went through.
Right now, yes.
That's wonderful.
I'm sure the extra money is going to be utilized.
Well, I'm
Oh,
gonna
it'll
ask
be
you-
utilized, there's no
Yeah,
doubt.
because costs keep going up. Just
Some of them, yeah.
say again, we didn't hear you?
Just that, the estimates are
Yeah.
years old in
estimate,
some cases.
yeah.
Some of the estimates I presented were a little older because we've not had them updated, so we have, that's a cushion for us when those estimates are higher than anticipated. But the money on the right, that's
think Nadine
additional
is
funding.
next.
So that list of things you just went over, the item by item thing, that's our total wish list for maintenance, is that?
No, that's a total needs.
Well, okay. Well, I'm just saying, what else are there other things that are not being funded at this point? Are you pretty satisfied with where we are?
I am pretty satisfied where we are right now, yes.
Nadine is next.
Satisfied versus what are other capital projects that if we had a little bit more, we would focus on next, just based on the user side? So what is your staff saying that we should probably be considering in the future?
I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure. I mean, I know we've got funding to do the development or design of the new Hadley and the design for the new Richland Park, although those are a couple years down the road. And then we're in the process of going to have to design for remodeling. We've got our hands full right now, Green Hills and Hermitage. Other than doing probably more preventative maintenance, I'm not sure. Not sure.
And the budget, projected budget cut that the mayor is requesting does not affect any of this?
No, this is capital, not operating.
Okay, capital, okay. Rosalind?
Thank you, Joyce. My question is around supplier diversity.
Good question.
With this need list that we will satisfy, and I love that we're maintaining our buildings, has any thought gone into, as we build out those projects, the opportunities that are present for women, ethnic minorities, veterans, small businesses?
Well, because we are a department of the metropolitan government, no matter what we do, we have to follow metro procurement policy and guidelines. And SBWs are involved with every purchase that you make. So whether that's a minority or women-owned business or disabled veteran-owned business bids directly, or they become subcontractors of other major, we have to follow all metro procurement policies and procedures, and that is always taken in consideration.
Sure, I hear you saying that. I'm asking specifically to what extent, as you follow those guidelines, do you report back to us for the projects, this percentage has hit targets, that kind of thing?
We don't do that reporting.
Well, certainly the information is generated.
I know that Metro Procurement reports to the Metro Standards Board, and they report those numbers. The library itself does not do that reporting.
Okay, so it would be my request that as we move forward with the needed maintenance, that we be mindful of the policies and that you report back to us to what extent that we are being in compliance to it.
And the other thing I want to inject right here is I've had conversation with, how many council? 2 council people about the procurement process. And what these are conversations with people in other departments. They're having difficulty with procurement process as well. And so one of the council persons is going to be appointed to study that process and to look at ways it can be improved. And so I thank you for that, because I think that needs to be a suggestion that this library makes to the Metro Council people to track that and inform us, so we can do that. And Susan, I'll talk to you about that later too, because that ought to be coming up in June, maybe, yes.
So what other uses, or what uses would there be for the old Donaldson, I hate to call it, the old Donaldson building?
It's hard to know right now. There could be departments that are growing that just need more space, and so they could possibly be relocated out there. I'm hesitant to say it in public.
So, Kate, I actually talked to Kristen Wilson in the mayor's office and asked her, because we are really hopeful that we will have a contract with Nashville State to extend a 2-year lease for NECAT at the JPEG studio on the campus. But that has to go through a lot of approval processes. And so for a backup, what I asked is to please leave us keep the current Donaldson location, because that would be somewhere, it's not going to be ideal, but it would be a location for us to be able to house NECAT until we could figure out something else. But then there's also this, if you walk through this building, there are just so many, we're running out of space. I mean, even though you say 300,000, it sounds like a lot, but when the bookmobile comes on, on board and different things, that there's plenty of uses for the library to justify keeping the current Donaldson. Well, not the new one, but the current one.
So I'm going to, if there's no more questions, I'm going to try to keep us moving forward. Okay, so we get to everything. So Terry, you want to go ahead and give your report?
Susan has
I
an update
thought
on
you
the
finished.
courtyard.
Okay, I apologize.
Sorry.
Well, I can be finished if y'all want me to.
Just go through quickly.
We had a meeting with the stakeholders now that we received the report back. So we thought it would be good to bring you all up to date about all of that.
So this was originally presented by GHP to administrative staff and to the stakeholders, the family. And I'm going to, this is their presentation, but I will paraphrase it and try to go quick. So
Say it again. We didn't hear that last part.
I said I'm going to paraphrase it and try to go
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
So as you know, we've been working on the courtyard for several years now, but we finally got movement on it. We were able to hire GHP, which is Gobble Hayes Partners, for helping us with structural design, that kind of stuff. So we had an investigative phase, we had a discovery phase. They did come up with a scenario budget, although we won't discuss that because it's kind of out the window now. But things that they were looking at, the hardscape options if we have to tear it up, landscape options if we have to put live materials back, refurbishing the fountain and putting in new lighting, that kind of thing. So if anybody has looked out at the courtyard, I know you can't see it right now because the shades are closed, but we've had construction gating up and fencing up, and we've been digging. And so we investigated a slab that's right out there up to, we took everything out up to the fountain to see what the possible problems could be. We did do some investigation into one of the landscape pits to see about the roots that the trees could be causing. And then they came up with a scope of work for repair. So this is just a view of the library. Google Earth Pro, there you go. So the slide on the right is in 1992. That is the old Church Street Center. The new library was built on the direct side of the old Church Street Center, if y'all remember that back in the day. Here's another view of it. This is a gentleman walking through. I want you to remember these tile, because during our investigative dig, what we discovered is that tile is still under there. They never took it up.
Really?
This building was
Not
built
fun.
over the original Church Street Center parking garage. We have the structural drawings, we have the landscape drawings. It was supposed to have been waterproofed under the plaza deck. What we have found is that it was not. The only thing that was really waterproofed was in the planter beds. As you can see, the parking garage is down here, and the courtyard is really two floors above. So there are drainage systems. There are drainage systems for the pavers or the decking, and then there's a a separate drainage system for the planter beds. The pipes are all underneath the decking. We can't get to them to know which one may be leaking, which one may not be leaking. The planter beds we've run cameras down them. They're clogged. They don't function well. So when there's a hard rain, basically it goes over the planter bed and into the deck. So regardless of whether it's the planter bed or the decking, it's going down into the garage.
Is the base of the problem what you said about it not being waterproofed 20 years ago?
It's part of the problem, not the total problem.
Not the whole thing?
So when they dug down, I don't know if you can tell, this right here, that is the original floor for the Church Street Center. So these were a lot of drawings that the architects brought up and we're talking, and can't see them anyway, but you can see where we dug out up to the base of the fountain. And you can see where the true roots are starting to come through. So they've come up with a drainage plan to try to alleviate. Part of the problem is the way, and I'm trying to say this in layman terms as much as possible, it's how the drainage system is put in and how it's more horizontal instead of going directly down and then hooking underneath the garage so that we can be able to get to the pipes. We just cannot get to them. We did dig up one of the landscape pits to see where the roots would, if the roots were coming through, if that could be an issue. And what we did find is that there is waterproofing in there, but the roots are starting to go behind the waterproofing, so we know it's an issue. Basically, it just confirms what we thought. There's another view of the pit. This is a copy of all the drainage for the deck and how it's running. This is just another view. It's more schematics and it looks complicated. It is. But I'm not an architect, so. These are where all the drainage spots are, if you can tell where the blue and the green are. And then there's some in the planter pits themselves. So this is just a view of showing you where the roots are going down and going behind the waterproofing that is there and going into, already coming through the concrete, so. That's really all I have to say on that one. When we met with the family, they agreed that the trees are going to have to come out. It's not sustainable. There are 47 There are actually 48 trees, but what we're hoping to do is leave the Japanese maple, try our hardest to make sure that it survives. The other 47 are going to have to go. And that's what makes up this canopy. You're looking right here, when they're in full bloom. But when we were talking to them, we tried to let them know that we're going to have to take, in order to find where the leaks are and to truly waterproof and to redo the piping, everything's going to have to come up. And we kind of assumed that that's what was going to have to happen. But that our intent is to come back and make it as grand and make it as much of an oasis as it has been. We just have to think of it in different terms, and something that's more sustainable going forward. The family gave their blessing, and as a matter of fact, Ben Page, who is Margaret Ann Robinson's son-in-law, sent us some potentials.
Oh.
So these, I don't know if you can tell, these are huge. They would not go in the courtyard, but something just to give us an idea. So our plan is for GHP to design. We're going to get an artist on board that can come up with something that we can put back, that'll have the canopy, that'll have the feel of an oasis, and it'll give the shade and that kind of thing. And these were just some concepts that he sent to us, because now he's very excited about the fact that it can be redone and it can be better than ever, just envisioned differently.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm sure
I'm
statute
glad
of
you're involved.
limitation has run out on trying to figure out why they didn't do what they needed to do, when it was over the shopping mall. Anyway,
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
I know that was really
Yeah,
fast.
but we
I'm trying to
got
keep us on.
about 15 minutes.
That's beautiful. My question is around, did you say is it Gobble Hayes and Partners?
Uh-huh.
Do we have a contract with them?
We do.
So how long is that commitment for?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
You have a contract for specific services?
They are
or
a
they're
Metro
in-
vendor, and we have a contract for the design services. We will expand that service to include an artist. We'll have to update the contract that we have with them, or the PO. They're on a Metro contract. We have a purchase order with them right now to do the services.
Oh, that's
So
great.
we'll go through the bidding system to add the artists, or we go through Gobble Hay?
It'll go through Gobble Hayes.
Great. So
They will become a sub of Gobble Hayes, and we'll use the Gobble Hayes contract
Okay.
to do
So-
the design work.
that's great. So again, I will reiterate intentionality around where there are existing contracts, where there are existing vendors, that we be intentional to require compliance to those policies of inclusion of diverse vendors. And whereby you already have a vendor, I understand that, they then can be required to have subcontractors where they too are intentional to be inclusive.
So what will happen is Gobble Hayes or GHP will come up with the design. They'll get the artist, come up with all the design, and then we'll have to bid out the actual construction part. So that'll be a separate process, but we will still follow Metro procurement guidelines, and that is a part of it.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Terry.
So I'm going to go ahead and, since some folks have to leave at 1, and we do have a resolution to vote on, I'm going to go ahead and jump down to Kyle Barber and have him present to you the special collections book donation form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Board, for having me here today. I appreciate it. If you could join me on page 53 of your package, it should be the last page, I believe.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Okay, this is our current book donation form for our Special Collections Division. That is who I'm here representing today. And we think this form is a little dated, and what the resolution I am proposing today is that currently, the way the form reads, any book that is donated to the Special Collections Division must first be donated to the board and would need board approval of acceptance of that gift or donation before it is accepted by the Special Collections Division. What we are proposing is that we remove the library board from that process. And a couple of reasons. Number one, we've had much conversation about this. The first reason is the special collections team, we feel like, has a good understanding of the scope of items that they collect for and that's all I have to say about that. The other reason is the special collections team would also know their space restrictions, if there are any. And the third reason is that this would hopefully create less work for this body, which I'm sure is a win on several levels. I'm not going to read this form to you. You are capable of doing that. But that's really it in a nutshell. I understand that you have had about 5 seconds to process this. So if this needs to be something that we continue to think about and need to actually decide on this resolution at another board meeting, that is, we are not in a time crunch or trying to rush this decision. So I just want to also put that out there.
Well, this is the current form on page 53, or this is the proposed?
This is the current form as it currently stands. Yes, ma'am.
So the only change would be to remove the board?
Yes, ma'am.
So move.
Oh,
May I have a second?
that was easy.
Any
Oh, wait a minute, let me just understand it a little better first.
You want to get a second and then the discussion?
Okay.
Okay. Second, okay.
So give me some examples. I mean, I can't remember like individual books or collections of books coming before the board.
From talking to the special collections team and that manager, even though this form has been on the books for a while, we cannot remember in the last several years that we have had any donations that would fall within the need for such a form like this. So I don't even know that it has been utilized much at all in probably the last 10 or 15 years to our knowledge. However, it is on our books as a form, and so we thought it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and try to revise that before any future donations.
Well, so what falls in the category of special collections? Because when the library was first built, there were some people that wanted to donate things. I mean, you can get into a situation where somebody says, I got this stuff in my garage, and I think it's really cool. And we've got some porcelain or china or something out here that sort of, I think, kind of, I don't know. So I think this began with the Board of Trustees approving it because we wanted to have some sort of control over this sort of, I'll just give it to the library kind of thing. I certainly don't want to approve every book that goes to the special collections, but if you've got, for instance, what's the first edition, Mrs.
Wilson, the Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson,
Yes,
that
sir.
contributed, something like that, it seems like should come to the board, because that's a huge space eater. It's, do we really want to, there are some big decisions that come. So I wouldn't take the board out of it completely, because I think you actually need the board for some of that, some things that might be contributed or want to be contributed.
What's the frequency?
So I just think there needs to be some limitations on it that maybe need, I guess what I'm trying to say is, the little stuff, I don't care. You all are the experts, you know. But for the big stuff, and maybe there won't be any big stuff from now on, the board probably ought to be involved, and you probably want us involved because you don't want to be in the middle between some influential donor who says, I want to clean out my garage.
That's right. That's right.
I can't remember her name, donated everything to the Votes for Women room, remember?
Yes, oh, a judge.
Significant, the judge, yeah, that was significant. What's the frequency of the donations? How often you would want us to be involved if we would need it?
That's a great question. I don't know that I I don't know that I have an answer for that right now, but that's a great point, and that is a good question. I would also say that not all collections are special.
Well, that was my
and
question.
so
What is
that's-
a special collection?
Well, our Special Collections Division, their primary focus is books and materials that deal with Nashville, Middle Tennessee history. Certainly, there are 2 special rooms that focus on civil rights and votes for women. Those are also areas that team focuses on. And so this form, to my understanding, is just when patrons, members of the public want to donate books, or it also includes audio tapes, CDs, DVDs, and VHS tapes. Now, porcelain donations, the Wilson collection upstairs, I'm not sure where that falls in donations to the library. I fully agree that the board would need to be involved in that sort of a decision-making. My understanding is that this form is just primarily dealing with donations to the Special Collections department. But that's something we may need to research on our end and figure out a distinction.
And this does not apply to people that just want to bring books in and contribute them to the library?
Correct. Now, we have that all the time. People will clean out the basement or do some spring cleaning. And we do have a process. That we don't have a form for those sort of donations. Donations of that nature go to our book sale that we have once a year. Those funds go back into our Friends of the Main
So
Library.
this doesn't apply to that?
Correct. Yes, sir. This is separate from that.
Okay.
I don't know what the correct way to say this is, but it seems like we need some definition of what this form applies to. And why is this coming up now? I mean, if it doesn't happen very often, why is this even being raised?
That's a great question. Our manager of the Special Collections Division, Chinedu Amafula, who I believe has spoken to this body before and made presentations, he was doing, I think, his due diligence and found this form on our books and thought it needed to be updated, and I agree. So that's the impetus of me being here today, just that this seems maybe dated or something that we might need to take another look at.
Well, we certainly need to follow our own policies, and apparently we're not doing that now. So we need to do something. I just,
So maybe do more research and refine it a little bit, and perhaps it be an agenda item once a quarter, twice a year, something we look at. Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, motion has been placed.
Okay, that was doing a discussion. So there's a motion on the floor.
and what is the motion?
The motion on the floor is to approve if I'm correct, is to approve removal of the library board from having special collections go through the library board. Am I correct?
Yes.
So if the Votes for Women room were not there and somebody came and said, we want to contribute a Votes for Women room, to put it in, then if we approve this motion, then the board would not have any say in that.
Yes, correct, in that.
Well, I'm not sure that's a great idea.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, so this, you want to just vote for, Rosa?
Criteria to be
And develop.
shared back with me.
So frequency, criteria, so to give it just a little bit more thought.
How if you can have something that talks about the current process for people donating, but also the range of things that have been donated over time so that it's not on.
Thank you. I do this to you all the time.
Madam Chair, I withdraw my motion.
Okay. So there's a motion, well, he's withdrawn the motion, so there's no need to do anything else, right? Council, okay. He's withdrawn the motion. Kyle, thank you. Thank you so much.
Great presentation, Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was good
Thank you so much.
It's
Thank you so
good for
much.
us, and I think it's a great education for us to know, because a lot of this we don't know.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Appreciate your time.
We have Terry's report, Sean's report, and Lee, is there any way to do this at the next meeting? Because we're going to lose quorum. Is that possible? I know. You guys,
It is,
we want to hear it and really hear it.
It is possible. We were hoping to show it to you before we show it to anybody else. We tried to get on last month's agenda also. So we can do whatever you want, of
Well,
course.
how
but
long is it?
The video's
minutes?
2 minutes. I have about a 3-minute intro where I want to make sure I properly acknowledge and recognize everyone who's worked on it.
Okay. Do y'all want to go ahead? Let's go ahead.
Can I stand
And
up?
I know we're proceeding out of order because we still have, Terry is very short and then Sean is short too.
All
Okay, we'll
right.
end with you guys.
Am I on? Okay, good afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Lee Booley, Assistant Director of Collections and Technology.
Say,
And in a moment, I'm going to show you a sustainability documentary film trailer that was created and produced by your library staff. But first, I want to give a little background so that I'm accurately acknowledging everyone who worked on this. About 3.5 years ago, Kate Wingate, she's down at the end of the row, sent a proposal to Terry Luke, who was the Assistant Director of Branches at the time, to create a sustainability committee. Kent Oliver then brought it to the administrative team and asked if anybody would be willing to chair it. I said I would because I have a bachelor's in environmental studies and have worked in the field for, like tangentially for like 20 years, which is hard to say because that's a lot of years. So for the past 3 years, I've been chairing it, and Kate suggested when we started that Urban Green Lab work with the committee on some strategic planning. I thought that was a great idea, so they provided us the education and training to make it where the library was certified in their program. Then, about a year ago, Urban Green Lab once again approached Kate and asked if we would want to be a recipient on a grant on food waste. Kate asked me about it. I thought it sounded promising, so she and I hopped on a video call with Urban Green Lab to discuss the possibilities. While on the call, I had this light bulb moment where I realized, I have this really knowledgeable committee of folks. They're doing great projects here at the library. And wanting to see more educational programming on sustainability, and that I also had been asked to oversee NECAT, which came with Cameron McCaslin, who's right here, the studio manager, who has also produced and directed films and music videos. There's some pretty famous music videos that he's produced and directed. And then Sam Burns, who is an excellent film editor, and Eric Lowy, who has the expertise for the technical infrastructure to do a film and television studio. So everyone got really involved and excited about the project, and if we can get enough eyes on this documentary, some of them may even go on to be like famous or well-known. I think Cameron's one to watch. Sam Burns is a name that you're gonna want to remember. She's gonna do some cool stuff. So some of you may recall when Terry told you about the grant about a year ago. And I also want to recognize NECAT board members who were part of the documentary, Jerome Moore and big fella, Mr. Willie Sims Jr., who is here today. Thank you for being here and all your good work with NECAT and support of the library also. And I do want to recognize the following sustainability committee members for their good work on this documentary and the work they do for sustainability here at the library. So in no particular order, Lily Carolyn Burke, Chris Verhagen, Emily Kriebel, Bailey Batia, Tina Reed, Bassam Habib, AJ Price, Kate Wingate, Sade Johnson, Ben Hagans, Megan Sheridan, Selva Ibrahim, Maria West, Emily Talbot, Cheryl Hadley, and Nikki Glassley. Okay, so we are showing you the trailer to the documentary, It's All Connected, The Art of Sustainability, for the first time today. And we cordially invite each of you to the VIP premiere that we will co-launch with Urban Green Lab later this summer. Will you please dim the lights?
rubbish,
straws,
detritus,
a landfill.
Oscar to Crouch.
The library is the starting point of sustainability.
The Nashville Public Library certified all 20 plus locations of the system as labs of learning about sustainable practice.
The library is the only space in the city where you can walk in, quench your mind, and walk back out for free.
You can try items out before you buy something.
We have the repair fair, and we saved like 100 or 200 pounds of material from going in the landfill.
We're conducting activities like trash pickup.
They can go right across the way right there to Edge Hill Branch Library and check out some seeds.
The Cumberland River watershed supplies water to 3 million people.
To be good stewards of our resources, we need to be good stewards of how we have used any resource already, but it's all connected.
We know fast food's not good for us. It's not the best thing health-wise, but yet it's so easy to grab that burger.
The ingredients is in our food. Some of these ingredients are banned in other countries for a reason.
If you eat a local tomato versus a store-bought tomato that traveled hundreds of miles, there's no comparison.
Food waste and organic waste is about 1/3 of what Nashvilleian residents throw into their trash and garbage. All of that material can be composted.
This all gets tied to transportation.
Our goal is to make sure that people could live in Nashville without having to have a vehicle.
I believe in America, the kids got the answers to all of this. I believe the children are our future.
Most people want to be sustainable. They don't want to be wasteful.
And the nice thing about doing things for sustainability reasons is you're also doing them for economic reasons, and you're doing them for practical reasons.
Sustainability is all about balance.
Sustainability to me just means trying to take care of the planet.
Awesome. Questions? Awesome. Thank you. 2 minutes, it gets everybody's attention. Terry.
Thank you, Lee, and that's really so professionally done. Thank you. So I'm just gonna, I sent a lot of my information in my report to you on Thursday. So the one thing I did want to mention is that going to council yesterday was our 4% allocation, which we rely on for both our materials and for our maintenance. So we knew that the mayor's office was going to recommend $2 million for our collection because we didn't get collection money in the first allocation, and they did that intentionally because then they are planning for another $2 million for collections for the third allocation. But what we didn't know was that we had already gotten $1.5 million for maintenance, and they recommended an additional $1 million for maintenance. So we have just really, I can't tell you, a year ago in December, we had to go to the mayor's office and say, look, we have like $70,000 left in maintenance. And so if an air conditioning unit goes out or something, we're not going to be able to fix that unit without help. So all that to say, this is really, really good news. And so Susan went last night to the committee, and so hopefully that will come in now, and then the next allocation, another $2 million for collections. So
for the entire fiscal year, this fiscal year, for collections, the total will be $2 million?
So the thing is, because of the change in mayor, the allocations were pushed out, and so we will technically get a third allocation, which would make us have $4 million for collection. But technically, I know if Noelle is listening to this, our collections manager, she's going to say that goes into the next fiscal year. So what I relay to the mayor's office is that really should be for this fiscal year. So next fiscal year, we would love for the $2 million and $2 million, so that maybe get $6 million next fiscal year in order to recoup that. We only technically will get $2 million for this year.
So the second $2 million would not come before the June 30th?
We don't know that. They said it would be in the June or July allocation, but if they're just doing the second one now, I'm looking to say it's going to be in the next fiscal year.
But you're right. We want to make sure that then somebody doesn't say, well, y'all got $4 million last year, and you're going to get $4 million,
No, that we made very clear, because at first when we got in the first allocation, when it came back for $1.5 million, Susan and I both reached out to the finance department and said, look, where's the collection money? Because we are the only library system in the country I know that relies on 4% funding for collections. And so therefore, making sure that we were going to get, and they said, well, you'll get 2 million in the March and April allocation, and then in May or June, you would get the other 2 million, but obviously they're behind in the allocations. So technically, it should count for this fiscal year, but if you're going to be exact about it, it will probably be July.
Really get the money.
And that's why I said I had a conversation with Kristen specifically about this to say that we then, because we were down to low funding in the collections budget. So she understands, and hopefully, again, now my preference would be to hopefully change. We used to get collections and maintenance in each allocation, and that would be my preference, so this didn't happen.
Terry, is there any way before the meeting on Thursday, you could bullet us, the explanation? So if during before the council meeting, as we're greeting people, we want to say what we need.
Yes,
and why.
And in my opening remarks to the council, that is actually in that
so
as
we can
well.
underscore, but just make sure.
Yes.
Because everybody that is not sitting there, everybody won't sit through those budget hearings, is our experience.
Can I go back to Susan's presentation a little bit? So, for years, we have worried about deferred maintenance, stuff that needed to be fixed that we didn't have the money to fix. So that list she just went through, that was a pretty exhaustive list.
That was the first time.
I wasn't asking my question very well, but in so many words, are we now caught up with the deferred maintenance issues?
Yeah, so the thing with deferred maintenance is you can only identify the maintenance sometimes when something breaks, right? And so what we did was we looked at what things really needed to be done based on the years, how old it was. But that's not to say that tomorrow an HVAC doesn't go out. So fortunately, with this additional money, we will have the funds if something like that happens. So yes, I would say, based on what Susan presented, that we are where we need to be to say we are caught up. We can always, and I don't want to put that out in the universe and then somebody said, Terry said we didn't need maintenance money. So what I'm saying is that we have older buildings that, we thought Edge Hill would be closed for a week, and it was 6 weeks later because the clay pipes were, once we got in there, had deteriorated. So, and that's why we're fortunate that we'd ask and have the money for the courtyard. But yeah, Susan has done, that is a tremendous, for anybody that's dealing with any kind of construction, any kind of renovation, there's delays now after the pandemic, so supply chain and all of that. So they have done an incredible work to bring us to this point.
I know we've all appreciated seeing that list for the first time.
And this money was coming from just capital funds allocation. It's not 4% money, or some of it's 4% money, but.
We get it in both. So we get 4% funds for what they'll say is ongoing maintenance, things that come up during the year. And then this year we got over $5 million in our capital spending plan for maintenance as well. So they're in two pots of money. And I have to say, Joyce and I met with Councilmember Stiles, who is over, libraries as part of her committee, and she was really, really impressed because she said a lot of departments, she was trying to talk with people specifically about maintenance issues, and she was very glad to hear all of the work that had been done here at the library.
Good, thanks.
Thank you. Sean?
Just a couple things, and I will be quick as well. Wanted to just give a quick update on Begin Bright and where we are with that. That is our fundraising campaign for early literacy. I'm going to pass around a brochure that it's focusing on the fundraising, but it does give you a good overview of the program. And I want to just say we have the bold goal of raising $20 million. Of that, $7 million is for implementation for the program for the first 4 years. and then 13 million will be for an endowment. And so that will enable the program to continue past the implementation period. So Linda, Liz, and the BBTL team, plus more, Andrea Fanta has been very involved, are working on putting together the expanded program, and their efforts are have already started and are going kind of full force this summer. And I just want to announce that fundraising-wise, we have already secured $7 million of the $20 million. So we are very excited to see a path forward to get us to the $20 million, but would also ask if you know of individuals who you feel like would be interested to learn more about this, or corporations that you feel like would be interested in potentially supporting this, please let us know. And we just had a meeting actually before this where we started to talk through the timeline. So in the future, when we have a little more time, we can lay out the timeline for this specific. Right now, Begin Bright is the name of the fundraising campaign, and that will eventually morph and become an identity that lives on through the library.
Questions? I know comments. Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
It is very exciting, and I'm looking forward to learn more about it, in particular, what it is and the potential impact to our community and the partnerships. And when I say partnerships, the partnerships with our school system. It is my understanding, and I know very little about it, but something else I'm trying to get in tune to is that there's a new requirement in our school system that will require the children to be able to read or be retained. That's significant. And to that regard, how is this aligned to help support literacy for our children? And what partnerships will be involved in this to make sure that it's successful? So I want to learn more. I want to be supportive and as involved as possible.
Thank you. And we are, I say we, the library, the foundation are working to identify the community partners, but really the library is taking the lead. And as you probably have learned, there is nothing that the library does in isolation. And so this, the same can be said for this. Linda and her team have identified community partners. We've already met with Dr. Battle, and she is fully on board and said, list our name as a partner. But over the next month, the library will be hosting a community partner meeting as well. So if possible, we would love, I don't want to speak for you, Linda, but I'd love to be able to come back and do a fuller presentation to the board. I know we talked about this a while ago, but the education and literacy team has done a lot of work on it since you all first heard about it. So would love to be able to share more with you on that. We are right now in the quiet phase of the fundraising campaign. And so we will begin to talk about it more openly with the entire community next spring. And that will line up with when the library is ready to kind of deliver some of the products to the community as well.
And I'm realizing that, Rosa, you were out of town when we heard all that, so it might be that you need to hear the research that has gone into this with Vanderbilt as a partner and what they will be doing to follow up the program as it goes forward. So you need to hear that piece too.
I do.
Yeah, that's what you need to hear.
What,
Yes.
I mean, the real distinguishing piece of this is that it's 0 to 5, and everything that Metro Schools does is once the kids get to them. So we're capitalizing on the work that the library's been doing and all the daycare centers around town, amplifying that and delivering to Metro Schools kids who are ready to read. So that's where this is new. So it's really.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yes, Nadine.
Go ahead, Kate.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, as this is rolling out, if we can just have some time to just get some updates. I know that there's going to be some time to really, look at what the impact has been, where the learning gaps are, and things of that nature. So if there's a possibility to at least have some check-ins as we look into entering the first year.
And I think that if we would just give Sean anything that, I know Vanderbilt is coming on, another representative of Vanderbilt will be on the foundation board who's just coming on.
Right.
But anybody that you know who would be interested in this, we need to try to figure out how to get them to the foundation. And they will go with you or go without you, whatever, and try to figure out how to make that case appealable to that prospective donor. Keith?
Oh, I was just going to ask, so if I understand it, you've got commitments for $7 million right now, and that's the implementation phase. So you're going to be raising, so the $13 million that you raise next is all going to be endowment money? Oh, okay.
The $7 million that's been raised has not been committed for implementation or endowment. So it's restricted for Begin Bright, but it's not restricted for implementation or endowment. So, which it gives us the confidence to say to Linda and her team, proceed. We do have the money, but it gives us the flexibility because endowment funds are sometimes harder to raise. And so there's some organizations that we will be reaching out to that won't give to an endowment. So we could put this entire $7 million toward the endowment.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Katie Varney as co-chair, or is chairing the fundraising campaign for this. And so she has been very involved and very instrumental to date. So we're very grateful.
We just have to help them.
Yeah.
Questions? No, oh, you're not finished, I'm sorry.
Just a couple other things, not on Begin Bright, but we had our picnic a couple weeks ago. Rosalind, thanks for joining. We had over 650 people attend, and we raised $116,000. It's our largest yet. We were grateful for the library because we had to do it differently because the courtyard was closed. Normally we spend the majority, and most of the people are in the courtyard. So we were able to take over the lobby, the mezzanine, and the children's area. And it was wonderful. We had over half of the people filled out a survey when they registered, and that let us know that we had attendees from 13 different branches. So we were grateful that we haven't permeated the whole city with it, but at least 13 different branches were represented. And I would ask you to save the date for November 9th. That is, 8th and 9th is our Literary Award Weekend, and we have secured our author. We just announced last week at the Foundation Board meeting, James McBride will be our author for this year. Hopefully, many of you are familiar with him. If you are not, I would ask that you check out his most recent release is The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, and that was released in 2023. And he was just named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in 2024. I could go on and on with kind of his bio and his deserving, but we are very excited to have him join us. And we also, I just want to share with you all as well, the James Stephen Turner Family Foundation just pledged a $700,000 gift for us to endow the Literary Award Gala sponsor in Judy and Laura Ann Turner's name. So forever we will be able to recognize both Judy and Laura Ann at every gala as the gala sponsors. So we're very grateful. If you do see Christy, Jay, or Steve Turner, please share your thanks.
So that's normally, I mean, in the past, you've raised you know, there's been a gift for the honorarium. And then, is that what this is?
This is, so Laura Ann Turner has been traditionally, for probably 12, 13 years, the gala sponsor. And so that level will be, which is a $35,000 annual gift, will be supported in her and Judy's name. So we have that committed into perpetuity because of endowment.
Any other questions?
But you still have to raise other money.
Oh, we still need, yes, because it's a $700,000 endowment. We'll draw $35,000 from more or less an average of 5% a year. So every year, we will still be raising a lot more money for the gala each year.
Yes.
Well, that's great.
Any other questions? Motion to adjourn? Needs no second. Did we get one? Did we
Motion
get a
to
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn? Keith?
Let's
Needs no
adjourn.
second. Thank you. Everybody be there on Thursday.
What time on Thursday?